I'm just messing around in Deck Builder here. Deck's not even legal. I was trying to figure out if I could build a Hurricane deck. And what that means really is that I want to play a bunch of creatures with 10 toughness or more, and then Hurricanes to control the board and keep my guys alive. But I'll take a little break from that, and we'll stay, go back, save the deck, and exit. We have a couple of games queued up here. That said, I'd like to do some dark drafts with anybody. I've got some pretty cool stuff going on. Number one, I spoke with Rob Dougherty yesterday. For those who don't know, he's the CEO of White Wizard Games. Getting a free card out of this deal, maybe? Oh, he drew two with Hasty Retreat. Okay. So we're attacking. I'm imagining my dragon's going to hit. I don't think he would block, but I could be wrong here. Anyway, back to Rob. Rob said he was going to come on the stream and actually play a couple of games with me, which I'm really excited about. I would love to play with Rob, get him on the stream. We're working out the logistics of timing. It's one of those things where timing is important. For him, he's obviously a very busy person. Here we are. We're back into this game. It's his turn. All right, okay, we'll take it. And so if we can get Rob in and playing, that'd be amazing for me. Obviously, just any experience to play with Rob and hear his thoughts on Epic are going to be powerful, and uh, he'd be great to have for everyone else to see some of the thoughts that go into the cards. I can kind of pick his brain a little bit about some of the way they design some of the cards. Like I had spoken with Rob about Thought Plucker at one of the events, actually the first event I went to, which was at Pandemonium last year, and I was commenting on how powerful I thought the card was, and amusingly enough, they felt White Wizard that it wasn't very powerful. In fact, before they had released it, it used to just have Airborne instead of Unblockable, and they buffed it to Unblockable to make it better. I still think it's quite good as Airborne. I don't think it would be nearly as powerful. I think the unblockable nature is a huge deal, but that's just one interesting thing. I would definitely pluck his thoughts, Martin. You know that. But yeah, it would be pretty cool to have Rob on the stream, and so whenever his work schedule aligns, we'll make it work. I may start earlier that day to accommodate Rob. Um, we'll have to figure that out as we go along. Additionally, um, I have some other news. I have a bunch of promos here that I've been saving from all the various events that I've been in. So I've got a bunch of Necromancer's Apprentices. I've got a bunch of New Dawns, Angel of Lights, Drain Essence, and these sweet new Veldens that were just put out at PAX. Um, they don't have the stamp symbol on them for the event, but they are pretty sweet. And so I want to give out at least one of them. I would let anyone choose which of the promos that they're going to get. That said, I want to get to 25 viewers before I give one out. So as I said, I have a bunch of these stamp promos. Once we get to 25 viewers active at one time, I will definitely give out a promo. Anyone in stream, I'll ask a question. I'll figure out some way to randomly determine a person. And then we'll do that. I also have a bunch of stamped cards. So if you were at Worlds last year, all of the cards from the event were stamped, so you can kind of look here and see that there's a stamp on this banishment. And I got a bunch: Brave Squire, Ceasefire. These are all alphabetically sorted. So if you'd rather have a stamped card instead of one of the promos, then you can have one of those. For now, we can play some games. Hopefully we can get some people up. Looks like we lost some viewers down to 16. Uh, yeah, Martin. I definitely do have Thunderous's for myself, but I don't have extra ones from Gen Con, so I would not be able to give those out just yet. I'm waiting to try to get some more promos and track them down. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. We're getting into the game now. I'm playing with Wasabi, who's a pretty good player. Both of our golds are up. I'm fairly advantaged in this board state. Um, I think I want to pass and elicit them to make a play. If they play a creature that's small enough to double Forked Lightning, that's great. If not, I can always Forked Lightning on Wasabi's turn on the Winter Fairy. Um, I have Lurking Giant to block anything big, and most of my plays are fairly defensive here. I could play Lord of the Arena, but I won't have a good card to follow up, so I don't want to do that right now. Um, so I'm just going to pass it on over here, see what Wasabi has to do. Wow, viewership really took a hit. We're down to 7. That's okay. I'm sure it'll come back. But yeah, so we'll see what's going on. I passed to Wasabi, going to the next game. If anyone in chat wants to do a dark draft, that'd be sweet. I'd like to get into some of those, talk about some of the plays. If we don't pick up in viewers, we'll do the giveaway at 10:30. So one way or the other, we'll make it happen. This is the game with Wasabi. Alrighty. So we're just getting through combat. We're gonna get in, gain some life, pull ahead. Then we fireball the Dark Knight while it's unbreakable, or rather, while it's not unbreakable. We wanted to wait and get as much information as possible from our opponent before we did that. Alright, Orion challenged me to a game. Alright, and we'll hop into that. And it's a dark draft. Awesome. Thanks, Orion. Alright. Gotta get my setup ready. Perfect. So I'm also logging all my dark drafts, which is something that I suggest everybody to do if they have the time. It'll just really help you make better decisions repeatedly. Alright, so it's Time Walker, Angel of Mercy. Alright, so the pick out of this is kind of difficult. It's either Guilt Demon or Rage. Both of these cards are amazing. They're individually stellar. Guilt Demon has better graveyard control. Rage is just a better card overall. I also know Nathan's style. He would love either of these cards. He tends to play more aggressive. And because of that, I'm going to pick the Rage, because I can kind of punish his aggression more. I can always get a flyer to block Guilt Demon, but the breakthrough from Rage is just too much. So it's Rage, Guilt Demon, Time Walker, Wolf's Call, and Angel of Mercy. And we picked Rage. Okay, pass it over to Nathan. Yeah, and we lost Nathan. That was the loss, but he did it to not be, ghosting, I think is the term. Alright, so here's the pack. So we get Sea Titan, which is one of my personal favorite cards. I pretty much will always take Sea Titan. I have it as number 2 behind Amnesia as the most dominant card in draft because the answers are very limited and it creates such a huge board presence that you can really just win the game. And then to go with it, we're going to grab Warrior Golem. Inheritance is also fine. It's an off-turn sweeper, so that would be the other card. But we took, I like to have a lot of zeros, and as I said before, I know Nathan's style is typically to have a lot of zeros. So I'm definitely going to grab the Sea Titan and the Warrior Golem. And then I'm just writing them all down so I don't lose track. Inheritance of the Meek. And what was the last one? Inner Demon. Okay. Okay. And then we took Sea Titan and Warrior Golem. And we'll pass this along. Alright. A lot of great cards in this pack. If you see my stream before, I've talked about how in Dark Draft, you pretty much want to avoid going all in on good or evil early, because if you don't get the cards, it kind of falls apart. Angel of Light's actually fine without the loyalty. Even Airborne Ambush Gain 5, 5, 6 is really solid. That said, Flashfire is one of the premier cards. It's got a draw 2 on it, and it's a sweeper. It's also like off-turn removal, chip damage. It does everything you want. I'm trying to put him into evil here as well by sending Dark Assassin and Plentiful Dead, so hopefully that works out for me. But yeah, so the pick for me is going to be Flashfire. It's Priestess of Angeline, Dark Assassin, Plentiful Dead, Flashfire, and Angel of Light. And then we're going to grab Flashfire. Okay, let's see what comes back to us. Hey, how's it going? Alright, wow, this is some big time gifting. Alright, so Surprise Attack is just really solid. We're definitely going to grab that in limited. Getting back these evil cards is great news. That means that he didn't take the bait. So in the last pack that we sent him, we can look here, and it doesn't have it. This is why I log him. But the last pack that I just sent him included 2 evil cards. But getting these back, I gave him Plentiful Dead and Murderous Necromancer. So or not Murderous Necromancer. It was Plentiful Dead and Dark Assassin. Getting Necromancer tells me that his pack is weak, and that, or rather, that his evil count is weak. So he's likely not to take those. And so I imagine that he took Angel of Light and the good card that we passed, which was Priestess Evangeline, which is very atypical for Nathan. I tend to see him grabbing other things off him. He tends to be a lot more aggressive, so he might be trying to outpick me here. But just in case, we're going to grab the off-turn sweeper and Zombie Apocalypse, because that's a solid card for us. Faithful Pegasus. Faithful Pegasus is actually also a solid pick. It has Recycle and it's got Haste, or Blitz rather. So either of those cards would be fine. But I like the off-turn sweeper, the draw 2. I do like to have a mix of zeros and ones, but we took two zeros in our first pack to kind of give us the freedom here to take the better card, which is Zombie Apocalypse. Ooh boy, this is a hefty pack. So we see now, had Nathan committed deeper into evil, right? If he had started with that Murderous Necromancer, and now he would get these 2 cards, most likely from me. I'm probably going to grab this Ancient Chant. Ogre Merc is a very Nathan card. It's quite possible that if I pass this if I take Ancient Chant, I could easily see Nathan taking Ogre Mercenary and Dark Knight. And so that's a concern I have to have. I really like Ancient Chant. I like drawing cards. I like recycling Ancient Chant. I like all those sorts of things. I don't think that we're going to have a problem with draw 2s in our deck. I think we already have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 draw 2s already. Maybe we don't take this. Maybe we take the stronger card. Take away the aggression from Nathan. It's a tough call. We don't have any loyalty yet in any of our cards. We're a little skewed towards wild, but nothing has, aside from the Warrior Golem. But the Blitz on it's almost irrelevant. We really play it for the recycle on death. I'm going to grab Dark Knight here. This is a tougher pick. It really depends on what we think Nathan's going to be doing. And I know he tends to skew towards aggressive, so I'm going to try to get the cards that he wants that are also good. Oh boy. Oh, so, if you watch my stream, you know how much I love Kong, and you know how much I love Palace Guard. What? So that's the easy home run pick. To get a pack like this means that Nathan had awful cards. Or rather, he had an awful position, is what I mean to say. He had to pick between Kong, Palace Guard, and something else. So it's probably like an Amnesia, a Muse, something really high. He also passed a bunch of good cards, which makes me wonder what he took in that other pack, because to me, if he took those good cards again, this pack is so stacked. I have no idea like what he could be valuing higher than these cards. I have to ask him afterwards what the other card in the pack was. This pack is just nutty. I'm very happy with this pack. Yeah, I'm with you. I have no idea what he took. To give me those cards is just stellar. Whew. Oh boy. All right. Here's another interesting pack. I'm probably going to grab this Rain of Fire and do so happily. But Frost Giant is, again, a card that I know Nathan likes to take. And the reason he likes to take it is that it turns off all your abilities to block with anything that was already in play. So he likes to get into board stalemates and then make game-winning plays. He got me at Worlds with the Deadly Raid. He got me to exactly 0, where I would have killed him the next turn, no matter what he had. Like, I had Burn in hand, but my gold was down when he attacked. And so I know how much he likes a card like Frost Giant, but I think Rain of Fire is just too strong to pass up here. And although Frost Giant is good at those sort of situations, I think I have enough on-turn plays already. Yeah, I already have 3 super slow champions. I don't want to get bogged down with them. So we're going to grab Arena Fire and protect ourselves from running out of the ability to interact with our opponent on their turn. We get another off-turn Wrath. I just got through finish saying how good, um, or how often Nathan likes to go aggressive. So the more off-turn Wraths we have, the better. We're going to grab Lash as well, because that card is just amazing. Burrowing Worm is high risk, high reward. It's very, very slow. If we could get our hands on Surprise Attack, it would be a better pick. But we don't know we're going to get Surprise Attack. Oh, we have it already. Alright, we have Surprise Attack already. We still have a lot of really slow champions. I don't want to get bogged down with them. I want to get Lash. Lash is really good on Kong or Palace Guard. Creatures with high toughness with no ability to get through. And I definitely want the off-turn Wrath, but passing Burrowing Worm is pretty rough. What kind of removal have we passed to Nathan? Let's take a look back. We passed him nothing in pack 1. We passed him Dark Assassin in pack 2, but we don't think he took it because of how much evil we got back in pack 2. We passed him, he passed us Necromancer and more board wipes. We passed him a Plague in pack 3. He almost assuredly took that. He may have taken Ancient Chan and the Ogre Merc though. Last pack, we passed him nothing that would kill it. I'm sort of talking myself into this Burrowing Worm, but I think it's smarter to play it safe instead of trying to get cute. So we're gonna just pick the best card. I'm gonna take Wave. Wow. All right. So normally I would look at like a card like Triceratops here and want to slam it, but again, I just need off-turn establishing threats. If you look at here, only Dark Knight has ambush, and it's kind of a weak ambush champion. Pyromancer is great off turn. It fits our wild sub theme already, so we could look to pick up something out of wild later. And so I think I'm leaning to Pyromancer. That's definitely the card I want. Triceratops is solid. I like it a lot. Bellowing Minotaur is a running joke with everybody about how awful it is. Rally the People's in similar territory. So I imagine that Nathan is going to take Infernal Gatekeeper and Triceratops. I think he's kind of priced into it based on how the pack develops, but I think he'd much rather be getting Pyromancer. So we're definitely going to cut that and get ourselves an ambush champion. Get rewarded. Keeper of Secrets is one of my favorites. Anyone, again, who's watched the stream has seen me take Keeper of Secrets pretty highly. But in this deck, we're going to have a few less Sage triggers than I normally do. We definitely want the Strafing Dragon. Again, we were just talking about off-turn plays. Worm Hatchling fits our deck really well. We have a bunch of those wild plays. Turn's another good card. This pack is very solid. I'm very interested to ask Nathan what it was he took from this pack, but we're definitely going to grab Worm Hatchling and Strafing Dragon and have a party. Alright, well, we're halfway done. Ooh, this is a tough pick. So we have a bunch of slow champions, so I think it's pretty much just auto Flame Strike. But we have to be mindful of the Avenging Angel. We know he has it, and we don't really have stellar ways of dealing with it. But Flame Strike, I don't like passing. I don't want, and he also won't know if we have it. And so he might play loose and let us kill him with Flame Strike, or he may play as if we have it. And either way, we have to cut it from him, because if we pass it to him, I know he's going to take it, and then we have to play like 8-0, and in Limited, that's just way too constricting on your overall deck plans. So we're going to take Flame Strike. We're passing Avenging Angel, which is what I expect Nathan to take. He's either going to take the Blue Dragon or the Sea Hydra, depending on where his deck is at. He might take Thunderous, but it's one of the slowest champions in the game, and it on its own it does nothing, so I just imagine he doesn't. Wow, another really stellar pack. Whew. Rampaging Worm, Hasty Retreat, Winter Fairy, and erase. Oh, and I accidentally closed my sheet with all the picks on it. Swell. Well, in that case, we'll just stop taking notes. I think we're going to grab these two. Again, I just don't want to get over bogged down with slow champions. I want to get the blitz out of the worm to punish when he spends his gold first on my turn. And I am going to be able to make him spend his gold first on my turn with the surprise attack. Like, I've got 3 champions that are just amazing at forcing gold out of my opponent. And we have this Lash and this Rage to get even more value out of that. So any of those with the worm is great, and then erase is just the individual best value in the game, or that's left here. So we'll grab that. I'm pretty happy with this deck. I'd be very surprised if I suddenly got worked over, but you never know. Things happen. I don't know how I closed my Twitch chat. I must have hit some sort of shortcut command to close the entire window, and so I just have to bring it up. All right, round 7. Whew. This is tough. So we're in a world here where we have a bunch of really solid zeros to bring back with Memory Spirit. This is part of the reason why we take them early. We got Rage, we have Flash Fire, we have Lash, even though we can recall it. And Rage, especially with Memory Spirit, can be very brutal in a turn. We don't have really the loyalty for Time Bender, right? Like, you take a look, we've got, what, 1, 2, 3 ones to 4 total Sage cards to play, so we don't want that. Breach, Breach is a great card. We could take it, but I just prefer Memory Spirit. It's also one of those off-turn establishing champions, right? So we have these two here. It would just give us a third. I like to have 4 or 5 if I can, so I'm gonna grab it. Yeah, that's just the pick I want. All right. So I definitely want Jungle Queen. We have a bunch of these wild. Actually, it's less juicy than I thought. I think I'm just gonna grab the 2 zeros. More of our wild spells are 1s, which is fine. It just means that we can get the recall going on Cave Troll, and this is much more aggressive for us. We can't support Angel. We're just way too far. We have, what, two evil cards? And while Jungle Queen is good, we only have, what, 2 champions to play off of it. We don't really want to play Rampaging Worm off turn. So I think it's better just to get the quality zeros. It's very interesting to note that Nathan's passing all these zeros. Like I was saying earlier, it's very unlike him. He may be trying something new, or he may be metagaming against me. Yeah, I see. I have the Automod set to pretty aggressive, just because I want to keep the chat clean, even if I occasionally drop a few curses here. I'm gonna grab Word of Summoning again. I just like having zeros. None of the, like, Try Horror is way too slow. Divine Judgment's a realistic take. It is an answer to my Sea Titan. Maybe I should take this. I don't know. I like populating my board and drawing a card, though. I like it a lot. Let's count our zeros. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 creature zeros and 2 spell zeros. How many sweeps do we have? We have 1, 2 sweeps. Yeah, let's grab the sweeper here. I'm just too far behind on sweeps. We have to make sure we're okay. We got past Lightning Storm. I'm very confused by what Nathan's doing. This is very atypical for him. I definitely think he's quote unquote trying something. Do we have any unbanishable champions? No, so we don't have a trick for Vital Mission. I think we just need, again, this is another ambush champion. I was saying before how much I like them. Thirst isn't a bad card, but the odds of it being for exactly 1 is very high, so we're going to grab the 2 cards that have the most value. Spike Trap's really, really good. But the thing is, if you pass Spike Trap, you know to play around it. Same thing with Lying in Wait. Lying in Wait is, again, a very good answer to Sea Titan. We do have a lot of really big guys. I originally was going to grab that Hurricane and have a party, but we survive Hurricane on Sea Titan and Kong and Hydra. And Lying in Wait on Sea Titan is one of the biggest blowouts. So we're going to grab that, but passing the Hurricane hurts. Picking up T-Rex in our heavy wild deck, that's just amazing, and Fireball's a 0, so party time. Excellent. Alright. We grab Brave Squire. Combat Trick 0. Brave Squire along with Rage and Lash is just a great combat trick. If he's a token deck, he's in a real bad shape. If he's token, we have 2 off-turn sweepers in the form of Wave and Zombie. We have Flash Fire and Fireball, which both can be sweepers if we upgrade the Fireball. And we just have establishing board presence. If he's playing legit token, Drinker combo. I don't know. He passed me a surprise attack. That's like the best card for Drinker combo. I don't know. He passed me a Thought Plucker. I mean, he can't be combo if he's. I don't know anything that's happening right now. We're gonna get a lot of value out of this resurrection. He's gonna have to kill our Thought Pluckers, etc. I like him over the bitten rather. So I'm pretty happy with this deck. I really can't complain. I'm gonna have to ask him afterwards. Yeah, I don't know what he was picking either. He's gonna have to explain to me what his thought processes were. All right, it's pretty good. All right, so our opponent's going first. Unfortunately for us, despite having all these awesome cards, we don't really want to blow Zombie Apocalypse so early. And we can't play Sea Titan on turn 1, so we have to mulligan very aggressively. If this was Flash Fire, we could just keep and draw 2 off that. But I definitely want to mulligan this. We saw that he passed us Thought Plucker, so we don't need the recall as much, and we don't have any wild in our hand anyway to reliably get it. So I think mulliganing these 2 makes a lot of sense. I kind of want to keep Fireball, but I feel like that's greedy. But I'm greedy. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Ooh, that's a good start to a draw. So with Wave and Zombie, I'm pretty happy now. That means I have a lot of coverage. Okay, so he went Pack Alpha. That's fine. I think I'm just gonna draw 2 here. I want to set up my T-Rex to hit. And I don't need to wave yet. And there's the T-Rex hit, so I'm happy. Let's see what we draw. Palace Guard. So we have a couple of different things here. We don't have to play T-Rex right away. We have Plucker for his turn. We have other things. So we have an option of going Sea Titan. I like stopping Pack Alpha from making more guys. So we're going to do that. Start to establish our board. Our Palace Guard can easily block a token. We're going to, again, elicit a change in the board from Nathan here. We are also up cards now. He did not draw last turn, so he's down a card. So he made a zombie. That's fine with us. And just looking more as if we're going to see that token deck strategy subtype. We got Drain Essence out of him this early. That's pretty solid. That means our T-Rex isn't going to die to it. And he's down to 3 cards. He's going to pick back up the Plentiful Dead. He's also likely to discard Plentiful Dead to Thought Plucker, so it's really just costing him 1 life and finding an evil card. So he made another token. So he's goading me into upgrading my Fireball here. I'm not sure if I'm going to take the bait or not. It's going to really depend on what he chooses to do. Like I said earlier, Nathan plays a lot of... Like, he values Deadly Raid really high. And Deadly Raid's a very... it's good when it's good. It's amazing, but it also has a lot of potential to fail. So, you know, hopefully for us, we get paid off. You know, we know Plentiful Dead's in his graveyard, so I'm really tempted to just jam this Thought Plucker down so he doesn't have a quote-unquote free discard. It's really going to depend. Yeah, so he didn't play anything. So I just want to pluck him. I want to get a card out of his hand. That's a great draw for me. So depending on what he does, I might... depending on what he discards, I might Brave Squire the Thought Plucker and then block a token. I like that play a lot here. It'll keep my Plucker alive till my turn, and it'll goad him into a... Yeah. It's going to goad him into having a specific answer for Plucker. And it's also going to kill a token, which is solid. You know, I could try to wait and hold the Brave Squire for next turn. But if he had an answer, it would get my Plucker immediately. See, good. We're getting more cards out of his hand now. And even though his gold's up, that's a 0. So we're gonna have to see what he hits. As I said earlier, I know he likes to take a lot of early aggression cards, so I'm not surprised to see word from him. He found Final Task. He can get my Palace Guard. The Palace Guard's going to banish Thought Plucker. That's good for him, but that means, again, that he's really far down in cards. So when we reestablish next turn, we can play Sea Titan to bounce his Demon Token, and that kind of ends the game in our favor. Like there's almost nothing Nathan can do against the Sea Titan at that point. We're just going to take all 8 here. I don't want to waste the Fireball. I may chump with with a human at the end. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna chump with a human. We know the one of the cards in his hand is Plentiful Dead, so it's quite possible that he has actual stone nothing to do on our turn. His best case scenario is a draw 2. He's attacking us with a zombie, and the game's not showing the token. So let's print the screen, and I'll show this later to Gel. At least the zombie showed up there. I'm not really sure why we have some of these visual bugs. Like I said, I'm still not passing. I'm still not blocking. I think I might throw the token in front of that human, or that zombie rather. I like that line. It just saves us 2 damage. Or rather, in front of the Palace Guard. Yeah, he knew I was gonna block with that, so he's likely gonna get the last 2 in with that zombie. Yeah. Okay. And that's everything. So we're at 20. Our Palace Guard's going to go to the graveyard. We're going to Sea Titan the Demon token, and his board's going to be 2 wolves and 2 zombies, and maybe a Plentiful Dead. And then from there, we can just establish. He's got an Ogre Merc. That's pretty good. Our Fireball is like insane against him. If we upgrade it to 3, like it kills the Merc and these 5 things. Yeah, he knows he passed me a Sea Titan. Oh, and we get rewarded with another wild card. Our draft was really tight, so we just have a bunch of really strong cards. And then from here, like I really just like upgrading Fireball here, wiping his board. We know 2 cards in his hand. One of them is Plentiful Dead, and another one we don't know yet, but we're about to find out. No, he doesn't have it. That's great for us. He also played the Plentiful Dead into our Fireball trick. So we upgrade the Fireball here, and his active board is just gone. He went with the Deadly Raid. See, I told you, I know him. He loves Deadly Raid. He thinks that it's great, and he's about to get blown out. We could Zombie Apocalypse, but there's no reason to. Like the upgraded Fireball will do that, and we just win the game. Yeah. So he's sending in everybody. He knows that we passed him Spike Trap, but luckily for us, we just have the Blowout City. We also, even if we had Flashfire here, it would have got him, and we had that early as well. But we're gonna see his whole board poofs, and his gold is down. So this game is all but over. I'm gonna play T-Rex, and I expect a concession upon T-Rexing. How long was I sitting on the Fireball? The whole game. I had it in the opener. There was just no reason to play it. Taking 6 damage was nothing. Inner Peace, that card's good. You can see my hand. This game is likely Dunzo's. If you can see it, I won't be mad. Thank you. Yeah, that was which bug? I saw the combat issue where you attacked with the. I think it was you. You attacked with the zombie. Deadly Raid did not consume your gold. It did on my screen. You did not have gold on my screen. Was it letting you play Inner Peace? All right, we got a challenge from Kinger. Dark Draft. All right, now I'm gonna get my. I have a log here, and we're actually gonna use it this time, and hopefully it doesn't cut out on me. So Wasabi, I'm sorry about not keeping up with your stuff. All right. I did say at 10:30 we would do the giveaway. So let's see. What's the best way to do this giveaway that gives everyone a fair chance at getting it? Let's go with the first person to tell me how many evil cards were in the deck that I used to qualify at Worlds. We'll do that. So the constructed deck that I qualified at Worlds, if you can tell me how many evil cards were in it, you'll be the winner, and then you can just contact me and I'll send you a promo card of your choice. You can post the answer in chat. That's something I can easily verify too and show everybody that I'm not making it up. All right, back to this dark draft. We have Strafing Dragon, Murderous Necromancer, Hunting Raptors. This pack is really awkward. Rally the People, and Infernal Gatekeeper. This is a tough pick. The answer is 9 Wild Guess. I'm gonna have to say that's wrong. It should have been an evil guess. Yes, the Martin puns never stop. Okay. I'm looking at this, and the picks are kind of tough. I think I'm going to take Strafing Dragon because it's the strongest card in the vacuum, but it's not the card that is best overall. If I don't get loyalty for it, I think Gatekeeper is better on its own. So I'm gonna grab Strafing Dragon. It is something that you can look up. 9 is also incorrect, as I said. I will allow second guesses. We took Strafing Dragon again, but I'm not super happy about that. Yeah, I collect them too. As I said earlier, this whole stack is just promos, and so I'm pretty happy about that. I just need to thank everyone for watching, and the best way to do that is to give out some promos. Like I said, I can't wait till later till we get Rob on. That'll be a nice big stream. I'd love to, make some moves. I wonder if no, you can have a second guess. I don't mind. I mean, it doesn't seem like anyone else is trying to find out. They all know it's on Foundry. Yeah, you and AJ Blackjack. It is 15. I will post a link to the Foundry. I have almost all the promos. George from White Wizard is supposed to get me the Secret Legions. He told me he had a playset of those. If anyone has them, I would love to trade for Secret Legions in case George can't find them. AJ, I assume that's Andy, my friend. If not, just let me know, and I will send them to you next. If it's Andy Green, who I think it is, yeah, okay. Next time I see you, I'll hand it to you, or I'll put it aside. You can tell me whatever promo you want. So since I'm waiting for Kinger to make his pick, actually it's possible he's not here. You're missing. Okay, well, so I have Veldon's smacks, and if I get more of them, I'll maybe send some your way. I really appreciate what you did for us on Reddit and everything. All right, so Kinger is here, so draft is on. Wow, this pack is. We just got 2 really awful packs. Wow, I'm very underwhelmed here. I was just saying in the last draft how awful Thunderous is, but the problem is that Dark Leader is widely considered to be the absolute worst card in Epic. For a gold, you get like nothing. Even though it's an ambush champion, it's just awful. If Wolf's Call was a draw 2, I would play Wolf's Call. But it's not. Like, if it was draw 2 or put 4 Wolf tokens into play, they gain Blitz. And so we're just gonna grab Thundurus. It's a big dumb body, and it'll trigger our Lord of the Arena. But like this pack one is just awful. I'm not happy about actually any of it. Um, Martin, I have a blue dragon. I was told by George that he had more for me as well. Hey Aaron, how's it going? Um, so I don't know if they're coming. I also have a line on some others that I may work out for, but I'm not 100% sure on that. All right, this pack is a little more interesting. Again, we're going to be passing a whole lot of Sage to our opponent. We're not really in Sage yet, so Time Walker and Psionic Assault are super weird for us. Djinn of the Sands is probably the best individual card in the pack. It also has Airborne, and I think I'm going to try to cut Kinger out of Airborne. One of the ways to win, if you've ever played Magic or anything, is just to make your guys really hard to interact with. And so if I can get all the Airborne creatures away from Kinger, I might do well. That said, we're going to pass Transform and Fork Lightning, which is pretty rough. And I'm not super happy about that, but I think it's the right play. Transform, Fork Lightning, Time Walker, and Psionic Assault. I just like getting the most aggressive card, and Djinn is going to do that for us. So that's what we're going to grab. What events am I going to be at? I am coming to Pandemonium in April. I know there was an event in March, or there was one coming up in March, but I'm not allowed to play in it because I'm already queued for Worlds in 2017. I'm allowed to play for in April because it's a grand qualifier, so there's cash prizes, which I'm very happy about. Being able to play in tournaments that matters is really cool. So we got two good champions early. So we're going to pick up Angel of Mercy. It's another Airborne Ambush. We like those. Again, we're trying to cut Airborne out of Kinger, so the fact that he gave us an Airborne champion is amazing. The next pick is a bit tougher. Juggernaut is good on its own, but I really just like off-turn champions. I'm kind of feeling Vampire Lord. Both of them are unbreakable on my turn, but it's like this. The Juggernaut gets Breakthrough, which is great. It has upside on the draw card. Vampire gets bigger, so there's trade-offs. I think I'm gonna go with Angel, but if you took, or rather, I'm gonna go with Vampire Lord. But if you took Juggernaut, I don't think, excuse me, you would be horribly wrong. You often want to be in Sage anyway, but we just passed a ton of Sage cards in the last pack, so we have to expect our opponent is gonna change their mind and move, or at least pick a bunch of Sage cards, which then makes us picking Sage cards trying to get loyalty really weak. So we'll ship that. Alright, so we don't have a lot of... Oh man, this pack is really good. I like being able to take T-Rex, but we just can't. It doesn't fit with our colors and our motif. I think we're really light on zeros. Yeah, we need to grab Guilty in here. All of these cards are great. But at the end of the day, if you can't make plays, then you're going to just lose. You don't want to get caught with a bunch of really strong cards in your hand in a draft situation, because you can only play one per turn. There's a gate, and we're very far behind right now on our zero count. We're 6 cards in. We haven't had a single one, and none of these cards are so amazing that we can't pass them. T-Rex is the closest one, but we're so far from loyalty already. I really just want Guilt Demon. It's also Graveyard Control. It's also an Ambush champion, and it's an Airborne champion, right? So we were talking a little while ago about trying to cut Airborne, right? We already have 1, 2, 3, 4 champions with Airborne. This pack has no champion with Airborne aside from Guilt Demon. It's also 0 and Ambush, so it could mess up our plan. So it's definitely the best card for us to pick out of this pack. Someone who hasn't been playing long would probably grab like Apocalypse or Rampaging Worm. And they wouldn't necessarily like lose because of that, but it's just you have to have a strategy overall, and you have to stick to it. A draw 2 that breaks all champions is good, but we just need to get Airborne into our deck. We need to get the 0 and Graveyard Control. It does a lot for us. We'll go to the next game while we're waiting for his pick. see what's happening in here. All right, we're being attacked by an Angel of Death. We have life total. We have gold. I think we just take this. There's no reason for us to interact. We have we still have a lot of options. They haven't spent their gold. If no one spends the gold, we win the game because we have lifelink and we have life total lead. Or righteous, rather, is a better way to say it. Lifelink's a magic term. So used to playing that game. All right, let's see what we got. We have a Winter Fairy coming in. All right, so we didn't get the value we were hoping for. He's going to draw a card either way, but I'd rather him not draw all the cards all the time, so we're going to just double up. We also can't afford to take the hit. We're pretty low on life. All right, so we're back to the draft with Kinger. Once again, getting 3 airborne champions. That's amazing. That really just tells us that Kinger is not valuing airborne at all, and that we are going to have a lot of success there. I love Faithful Pegasus. It's got airborne again, blitz, and it'll pick up our Lord of the Arena. So this is a combo that people often play in Constructed, and if you can pull it off in Limited, it's really hard to answer. And then we're going to grab Ice Drake. It's got the better expend ability. Succubus is good too. It's got draw. It's got long-term viability, but Ice Drake has ambush, and so I'm going to grab Ice Drake. I really just like being able to make off-turn plays, and so that's something that you'll see from me a lot. Ice Drake also sets up Djinn of the Sands, if they happen to have anything to block Djinn. Ooh, buddy. Oh, man. So here comes, this is a really tough pack. Oh, I didn't write down the pick for the last one. We took Faithful Pegasus, and we took Ice Drake, and then we let go of what was it that we let go? Burn cards. It was Succubus. Oh, what was the other card in that pack? Was it Force Major Apprentice? I want to say it was Force Major Apprentice. That's what's in my head right now, and I don't see it anywhere else in the draft, so I'm pretty sure that's what it was. If anyone else can remember, that'd be swell. This pack is super tough. So I was just saying about how you want to keep the airborne motif, and you want to not. All right, thanks, Andy. You don't want to get away from your strategy, etc. But like these 3 cards are just insane. Sea Titan is one of the best cards in Limited. You saw that in the last game. Lightning Storm is repeatable removal, and like one of the weaknesses of airborne champions is lower toughnesses. Like you can just see it here. And then Rate's just a great way to survive combat and win the game. It's also a draw too. Like, so whichever of these 3 I pick, I imagine that Kinger's gonna take the other one. If Kinger takes either, like if Kinger takes Lightning Storm Rage, that's fine. It means he doesn't take the Blue Dragon, so I'm less worried about it. And Sea Titan is just too nutty for me to pass up. I have to choose between trying to get loyalty for Ice Drake or for Strafing Dragon. And I think I'd rather get it for Ice Drake based on all this information. And Sea Titan is just too good for me to pass. But boy, oh boy, that's a tough pack right there. You could talk to me and convince me that Lightning Storm is a better pick or that Rage is a better pick. You could beat me in a draft. Dark Draft is actually my worst format. It's the one that I spent the most time trying to get better at because I'm really bad at it. Well, really bad's a stretch. Compared to the other top-end players, I'm really bad at it. Whether that's because I'm unlucky or because I have a fundamentally flawed strategy going in, I don't know. But oh my goodness gracious, I don't even know what's going on right now. We just got past the Muse. This card is amazing. Again, it's airborne. It's so amazing to be just getting free airborne. We're going to grab Wither too. The only thing that makes sense to me is that he's drafting some concentrated strategy, and I want to have off-turn answers. We don't have enough wild to consider Worm Hatchling. Like, we don't have the recall or ally triggers for those cards, so we're not going to grab them. And getting strong zeros, like Wither is a first pickable card in a pack, and Muse is in Limited is amazing, and the fact that he passed Wither, that's an answer. 2 Muse. Whew. I'm very interested to see what he took, because that's a spicy meatball right there. All right, let's get into the next pack once he's ready. But yeah, so I'm working very hard on Dark Draft. It's probably the mode I'm gonna play the most on stream, or rather on the app. On stream, I might do more Constructed because it's what I'm known for. But Dark Draft is it being on the app and being able to just have it set up and do it and just do it and do it and do it. And now my team is gonna start logging all of our Dark Drafts. So we want to see trends. We want to see what's going on. All right. So nothing in here has flying. So that's the first thing that's good. We have a Muse, so we're really priced into protecting it by taking the Fireball. Fireball counters Dark Knight. We can't really take Timebender. We're not close to that loyalty, and we kind of want to be, but we aren't. And we're just priced into this Fireball based on where everything is in the draft. So that's what we're gonna take. I'm just writing down all the cards. Dark Knight, Sea Hydra, Timebender, and Inner Demon. Alright, so let's think. What have we been passing so far to our opponent? We've passed... Alright, so out of this pack, I expect Hunting Raptors Infernal Gatekeeper. Out of this pack, I expect Fork Lightning Transform. Out of this pack, he probably shifts into Wild and takes T-Rex and Worm. If not, he takes a Pock and Worm. I don't think... Actually, we haven't seen much good in this draft, right? We took the early cards, but after that, we haven't seen much. It's quite possible that instead of... he could be committed to good, and then he took High King there. In this pack, I expect he takes Dark Knight and Sea Hydra. If he's heavy Sage, he takes Timebender, but he passes a pack with a lot of Sage in it a few times, so I don't think that's where he is. There's the Force Mage Apprentice with the Demon Breach. Oh, so Succubus Plentiful Dead? No, Plentiful Dead was in a different pack, wasn't it? Let me take a peek here. Yeah, Plentiful Dead was in the pack with the Wither and the Muse. So I gotta let them know that this isn't paired up correctly, or they should restructure this. I really enjoy that they have these things to track, because you can keep checking and making good decisions. The most important one is your deck. Being able to constantly check your deck is great. In actual paper, you're only allowed to check picks 3 and 7, so you have to be mindful of that. If you're preparing for Worlds or a qualifier, you should spend a lot of time practicing your picks and not looking before pick 3 or pick 7. It's just very important to get into good habits. Alrighty. Surprise attack's really good. We still have a bunch of champions to surprise attack in. Thunderous, Sea Titan, 2 of the best to do it with. We may find some more later. And because we also have those big champions, we're also going to want Final Task. Ceasefire, Jungle Queen, they're fine, but they're not on the same power level as the other cards. We're going to grab Surprise Attack. We're going to get Final Task. And then Ceasefire and Jungle Queen. Alright, pass them over. Alrighty. Woohoo! Lots of goodies. Oh, lots of goodies. Nothing has flying, which is good. We don't have to worry about that. Erase is really strong, but a lot of our guys have tribute abilities or blitz or ambush, so I'm less worried about Erase against us. Steel Golem's a brutal beating. Steel Golem is very aggressive in draft. That said, we do have some answers to it. We have Sea Titan here. We have Thunderous. Both block it well. Lord of the Arena kills it in combat when it attacks. I just like having Flame Strike in my limited decks. Whether my opponent chooses to play like they're at 0 or not doesn't really bother me, but getting them to play like they're at 0 is awesome. There's somewhat of a concern of passing the 2 Sage cards together, but I kind of have to. I also have to note that the People's Champion is in the pack, because I was worried about him maybe being on a token strategy. but I still think that this is the way to go. And if he's on tokens, he's on tokens. All right. Yeah. All right. So getting past Standard Bearer means he's probably not on tokens, which is good for us. We don't really want to see tokens. We don't have any, like against Nathan. We had all the removal spells. We had, we had 5 off-turn sweepers against Nathan, which was great. We have no off-turn sweepers in this one, so we definitely just don't want to see that from Kinger. Corpse Taker is going to do a lot of work for us. It's going to basically rebuy all of our threats. And Thrasher Demon is just a board establishing champion for 0. I've said it many times, you always want to have good zeros. Here's a spot where I'm not super thrilled, but I'm going to have to take this White Dragon. We're lower on zeros than we'd like to be. The best card in this pack is Lash. I would take Lash in almost every spot here. Other than the spot of this deck strategy. I can't imagine a world where I pass this White Dragon and Kinger doesn't take it. If I pass Lash, I know he's going to take it, but Lash doesn't really do insane things against me. Like, I feel like I'm going to be the beatdown. I'm going to be the one in the air in most of the game. So I want to win the game. I'm going to take the Dragon. This is a tough pick. I think Lash might be right. I'm torn here. It's really a bit of a feel thing. You have to figure out what you want to be doing, what you think the right picks are based on your deck. Like, Inheritance of the Meek is an off-turn sweeper. Inheritance of the Meek is a draw 2. The card is solid. We don't have Loyalty to get the recycle off White Dragon. We only have 2 good cards in our deck right now. We have the Lord and the Thunderous, and the Angel, sorry, 3. But, like, Angel's an off-turn play, so we're not going to even get the Loyalty on that. I'm gonna take Lash. It's a real tough call here. We'll see if he takes the White Dragon and if it comes back to bite us. I feel like Lash can push through the White Dragon even if he does take it. Getting past the flying creature is great. And let's see, we have 1, 2, 3. No, we don't have enough. We're gonna grab the Chomp. Removal is always good. Tom would be happy about how much Winter Fairy I'm picking. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be taking it at all. But he convinced me on it, and so now I follow his lead. It's been doing pretty well for me. All right, nothing has flying. Drain Essence is in the pack. Do we need Flash Fire? No, we need Drain Essence. We need to make sure that we don't lose the game early to anything obnoxious, and Flash Fire, while being a thing that kills Muse, actually it kills Muse, it kills Pegasus, it kills Guilt Demon. It's a tough call. That's another tough call. If we didn't have Muse, I would definitely just snap off the Drain Essence. It's really hard to pass a Drain Essence. I think it's one of the better cards in Epic, in both Limited and Constructed. So, that said, I think we can power through it, and I don't want to get too far away from removal, and I want to keep my Muse alive if I do have one. I want to make him spend a gold on that Muse. I know, like, imagine he uses Drain Essence on the Muse. Who won that fight? And the answer is probably me. So I'm going to grab it. I know it's a tough pick, but I think it's the right pick there. I think you need to protect your cards that are important to you. Guilt Demon's also really good. Like, there's a world where he would Flash Fire away a lot of good stuff there. So we don't have Loyalty, so this is just an easy pick. Again, you can see we're getting a lot of airborne champions from Kinger. That's boding very well for our strategy of let's go in the air. And getting the Flash Fire means we're also safer against tokens. And getting another flyer in the form of Avenging Angel in our deck is solid. It also has Blitz. So anything that has Blitz or has Ambush, I value very highly. Plus, Avenging Angel turns off the ground attacks, so we're just going to grab that. And then Banishment because it's the card without loyalty. So that's what we grab. I'm pretty happy with this deck right now. I think we just snapped it. Ooh. I almost tapped off a Brave Squire too quickly. We're going to grab Drinker because it's got Airborne and the ability is just really good. It also works really well with Flash Fire and Fireball. We might be able to pull some combos with it. We're not really a Drinker deck, but if it happens, we're happy. I normally don't like Drinker very much, but in this particular spot, it's really good. We haven't seen Zombie Apocalypse or Wave, though, right? In this draft. I'm checking my notes. I don't see it anywhere. So it makes me think that Kinger has that. Kinger might have a bunch of sweepers in his hand, so we're going to have to play around it. We passed him a few sweepers, too. We haven't seen Zombie or Wave yet. That's pretty interesting to note. Out of this pack, if I was Kinger, I'd grab Word and Brave Squire, assuming he doesn't have... Like, we haven't really sent too many quality zeros his way. Like, let's start from the beginning of the draft. How many zeros could he have taken from packs that we sent him? First pack had none. Second pack had none. Third pack had none. Fourth pack had Rage, which he definitely took. Fifth pack had... Oh, he sent us Pitiful Dead, no. Fifth pack had Dark Knight, which he took. So he's got 2 zeros that he got from us. 2 zeros that he got from us. Sent us a lot more zeros. We sent him Lash, which he probably... Oh, no, we took the Lash. We sent him White Dragon, which he... If he was paying attention, he should have taken. We passed him an Ogre Merc. Yeah, okay. He should be taking... He should be taking Brave Squire and Word of Summoning. We have Surprise Attack, right? Yeah, we do. Okay. We have the ultimate combo of Vital Mission and Thunderous, but that's a little cheeky. We have Standalone and Sea Titan and Thunderous. We have a bunch of really high-end champions, so I like Standalone. The next pick is between Pack Alpha and Burrowing Worm. Normally, I would just take Pack Alpha. It's a lot safer. But something tells me that we're going to want to be protected on the ground. So I think our second pick is going to be Burrowing Worm. It's not a card I usually take. I think he has a lot of sweepers, which kind of wants me to take Pack Alpha because it's a card that can bait out a sweeper by itself. I think I'm just gonna play it safe. I like Pack Alpha more. I value Pack Alpha higher than most people. Darwin and I had a long conversation about the value of Pack Alpha. So here we go. These 2 cards are the payoff for going deep into evil. We're obviously not deep into evil right now. You know, we've got what, 5 evil cards, maybe 6 evil cards. I don't think going up to 8 or even 9 if the next one, or 7 rather, or up to 8 or 9 if the next pack has evil is worth it. I like Resurrection a lot more than I used to, and we do have a lot of high impact champions with loyalty and rather with tribute effects, and it's also just a draw too. We have to be noted again when we passed this to Nathan. We had to know Deadly Raid was gone, so same deal. We have to just remember that Deadly Raid is now out of the pack, and so we can't get it. But we're gonna grab Resurrection. I had Resurrection very low in my original estimation of cards. I often felt that you were going to lose champions when your gold was down, and so it wasn't going to matter as much. But it just hasn't been that way. I also, like I said earlier, I think that Kinger's going to have a lot of sweepers, so Necromancer Lord's a great, or rather, Resurrection's a great way to beat those kind of sweepers. Alright, let's get the last pick in. I'm very happy with how this deck turned out so far. My plan is there where we have tons of Airborne. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 airborne champions, and we haven't passed a single one to our opponent, aside from a white dragon in which we took Lash over it. And I have Lash valued very highly. If I could, I would rather have something else than Vampire Lord. What else? I think is that it? Like maybe Banishment and Chomp, like those pack alpha. But I got a lot of cards I really like, and you know, we get to choose the ones we play and stuff, so I don't have to put myself in a bad spot. I like a lot of the things we have. The zeros are going to help us a lot. So we'll see how it goes. See what what Kinger's next pick is. Nate, did you are you still in stream? And if so, did you remember what some of your picks were? We were really confused with some of the things that you sent our way. I accidentally closed the draft that I had. I was keeping notes, but it got closed on accident. But I'm very interested to know what you picked, especially in like the middle of the draft. You sent me a lot of high power cards, and so we were all very confused trying to figure out what it was that you were doing. You said you need one, Smax. I can send you a Veldin if you just need one. Like I said, I really appreciate the work that you did for the stream. I'm doing like two things at once, so I didn't look over until just now. But all the things you did for Reddit, all of the publicity you gave me, I can send you a Veldin. Just ship me your information. You can do it on Facebook preferably, or even here on Twitch, and then I'll get back to you when I can. Kinger must have a real tough decision. He hasn't made a choice in a little while. We've been going back and forth pretty well. I don't even think that he could be an evil. Like he passes so many evil cards, and we didn't send him all that many to take. So I don't even think he's gonna get the payoff from Medusa or Necrolord. Like it's quite possible he goes Priestess to Raid, which is good for me. I'm very happy that is where it could be. Or he's gonna go for Necrolord Medusa and like hope to get loyalty. But like you can even see in my deck, I don't think anything has loyalty except for the Strafing Dragon we got early, and the Ice Drake. Right, these two have loyalty. So there's only two champions that have loyalty concerns, and we're probably heaviest in those two colors. Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wild. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're pretty all over the board. 7, 6 is 13. We have 15 other cards. Yeah, we're all over the board. But you know, either of those cards, Strafing Dragon or Ice Drake, is sort of fine without the loyalty. We are just going to want to play them early. Like if we ever have loyalty for them, we have to heavily consider playing them to get the extra effect because the effects are good. If Kinger doesn't make a pick in the next few minutes, I'll go to the next draft or the next game I have up. I don't want everyone to be watching my my empty board here. Yeah, we can come back, I guess. Let's see. Here's the dark draft I was doing earlier with Envy Smoke. There's our Sea Titan. All right, so this deck is pretty much just all the good cards like I could get out of a pack. So we're going to grab Drain Essence and Rain of Fire and continue getting high quality impact cards. And then we're going to grab Rage. Alrighty. This is the game with Wasabi. Something's being recycled. Our Memory Spirit is being returned. Okay. So we have to expect Hasty Retreat to happen. I'm going to play like that's the case, and I'm going to deal 4 to Memory Spirit and 2 to Wasabi, and apply. Then pass. And I'll exit out because I saw Kinger made the pick. So instead of, oh, here it is. I lost that one. I saw that coming. All right. We're probably, all right. Again, we get another airborne champion donated to us. Gold Dragon, Crystal Golem, Inner peace and try horror. We do have surprise attack, which makes try horror better, but we just want to take the best cards. Crystal Golem's always good. Gold Dragon's pretty much always good. No, it's always good, right, Martin? But it's always solid for you. And then Crystal Golem has ambush, so we just get to make strong plays all the time. All right, let's get into this game with Kinger, see what happens. Okay, so right off the bat, we have loyalty for our Strafing Dragon. That's amazing for us. We're on the draw, which is even better. I wouldn't call this hand the nuts, but like drawing it up, we're going to show so much damage to our opponent. We have turn 1 Lord of the Arena as well. If they play something that's really strong, we can banish it. Like, this is just a very solid sequence of cards here. Very happy with some of the things that got passed to me. I really need to ask what was in the pack with the Muse, right? He passed me a Muse in pack 4. Wither and Muse he passed me in the same pack. I'm somewhat scared as to what was taken to pass me both Wither and Muse. I played Martin earlier on his stream. I gave him a game, and he was playing Adept with Necrolords. I didn't really see all too much else. I was playing my take on Combative Humans, which is a Tom Sorensen deck. He played it a few times in tournaments, and I really liked the way it played and the aggression it showed. It also had a lot of staying power, like life gain, which I think is undervalued in a lot of parts. Alright, so Kinger is passing to me with his gold up. I'm going to force him to react. I want him to do things. And he's going to see a whole lot of burn and get very concerned about his life total. He's already at 24. He knows I have Flame Strike, so that's 16. He knows I have Flash Fire, that's 14. And I have an Airborne Champion, which we know he doesn't have an answer for. Or he should have very few answers for. We have almost all of the Airborne Champions in the game. The best possible draw for us would be Lash. We had to pass a Rage, I think. Yeah, we had to pass Rage, which was brutal, but we have the Lash. So that would be the best draw to get through with the Lord. But we're definitely putting a lot of stress onto Kinger. Also, the fact that our Strafing Dragon had loyalty on turn 1 definitely is going to confuse his thought process, because he would think that we have a very deep loyalty commitment to Strafing Dragon. He passed us things like T-Rex. He passed us a lot of cards. So he's going to break this and make a demon? Yeah, okay, that's fine. We can't stop that. We definitely cast Lord of the Arena on our turn. We'll go from there. Let's see what we pick up. Alright, Corpse Taker's so brutal. We're just going to pick up this Strafing Dragon and do it again. This Lord of the Arena is very, very unbreakable. Oh, man. I'm very happy with how this deck ended up turning out. What else can we draw? What else is in here? We are somewhat light on draw twos. We may have to fire this Flash Fire off that way at some point. Hopefully we can banish something on our turn. That way we get the card. We do have a lot of off-turn plays. We're going to get the Strafing Dragon with Ambush. In an ideal world, our Lord of the Arena survives, so that when we banishment on next turn on his creature, we're also going to get the trigger, Unbreakable and 8 attack, must be blocked if able, and Blitz. So yeah, we're going to kill this demon. Oh, what was happening was he was trying to take the damage, but he didn't realize that he had to block the Lord of the Arena. I imagine that's why it took so long. So that's going to happen. I'm going to pick up my Strafing Dragon right away. I don't want to give him a chance to kill it. I just wanted to see if I could bait him into a play where he played the gold. Yeah, this is fine. Getting Hasty Retreat out so early is amazing for us. Also, the Strafing Dragon can just kill the demon, so that's fine. So yeah, we're just going to fire off this Corpse Taker. Get back Strafing Dragon. So like Hasty Retreat got him a gold, which is fine for him. Like he's happy about it, but it cost him a card. And like I said, he knows we have Flame Strike, Flash Fire in our hand, and now he knows we have Strafing Dragon to pair with it. So he has to be very concerned, and I don't think he's going to be able to kill us in one turn here. And then we're going to just be able to replay the Lord of the Arena and present the same problem. And he's just got one less card. Luckily for him, he had a demon, so I didn't get to draw an extra card from the Hasty Retreat. Oh, there's a Memory Spirit. I bet you he picks up Hasty Retreat. That's pretty bad for us. Did we pass that Memory Spirit? He must have taken it early. Good job. He's got a flyer. That's okay. We have an answer for it. Getting rid of his flyer early is going to be good for us. In an ideal world, he'll attack and we can do a block and then shoot combo with the Strafing Dragon. That'd be swell. He did not pick up Hasty Retreat with Memory Spirit. So what did he get? What was the other card he played? Did he play a draw too? Oh no, he played Inner Demon. Okay. Inner Demon's an interesting decision. It means that he didn't have gold cards in his hand. Like, if he had a lot of strong ones, he should have picked up Hasty Retreat, but because he took back Inner Demon, that makes me think that either he doesn't have a good answer for Lord of the Arena, and he wants to break it on his turn with it, or he wants to get my Strafing Dragon. Either case, I'm almost 100% to just Strafing Dragon this Memory Spirit out of this world and get rid of his only flying blocker. Excuse me. And then I would use Corpse Taker to get it off the table. What could we draw that would be amazing? We could draw any flying champion. Gold Dragon would be really swell. That would set up our Lord of the Arena. Let's see what Kinger's play is, though. Spending a lot of time thinking. Can't have too many options. Got 4 cards in hand. So I don't really know what could be going on in Kinger's brain pile. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen to me. Okay, so another demons. There's going to be lots of demons. I still don't understand what happened. Or did he fail to click with Memory Spirit? All right, his gold is down. We're just very incentivized to keep going. What could he have? Yeah, let's just kill Memory Spirit, get his flyer out. Alright, so we drew a draw too. We just definitely get it in the sky. We're not too afraid of anything. I can't imagine, again, that he has really any ambush airborne champions. And the more damage we can sort of push through with our Strafing Dragon, the better. We have to play around certain things right now. What did we pass him to play around? We passed him Hunting Raptors. I don't think we have to really worry about that. We haven't seen any wild cards from him yet. We passed him Rampaging Worm. We passed him Steel Golem. We passed him a lot of different things. All right. So we're ahead on board. If we do nothing, I think we win. I don't think we have to with his gold up. I think we just pass and we figure it out. I should have used Corpse Taker on the Memory Spirit. That was a mistake. I hope I don't get blown out by that. I should have taken away his recycle. But let's see if we can get his gold. We know we have Lord, which is a great punish. And we could play it last time because he got rid of our Strafing Dragon, and so we had to punish. I don't know what he's going to do now. Alright, he just took his turn. That's great for us. We just take 4 here. There's no reason to get Trixie out. Let's use this Corpse Taker now. I want to use the ability. I don't want to block. That's pretty weird. I'm definitely not blocking. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's get rid of Memory Spirit before there's a Necrolord or a... Because we did pass a Necrolord, and we saw a lot more evil than I thought we were going to see. So our opponent's at 18, which is really, 8, because we have Flame Strike, Flash Fire. I'm very interested to see what else happens. Steel Golem. Okay. Oh, with Loyalty, even better. Okay, we don't have any answers in hand for that. We're very quickly on like a 2-turn clock here. Yeah, we're just going to take that. And that's really scary. There's very little we can do about it. That was not what I was playing around with. So Warrior Golem, Lord of the Arena. Okay, I don't have an answer for this. He doesn't have much burn, so we're just gonna take damage here. Oh, Rage, that would be lethal, so now we're gonna banish. We have to give the card up, and we have to use our gold, but we actually lose the game if we don't do that, so it's unfortunate, but at least we got it. We lost our gold, but it was the 2-for-1. We know he has Warrior Golem, and we know he has Transform in hands. He's gonna get another card. Okay. This is tough. We would like ideally get a sweeper maybe? Do we have any of those? Pack Alpha would be a good draw. Sea Titan would be amazing. We'd love to get Sea Titan off the top. Alright, we know Warrior Golem won't have Blitz. Oh, he must have got another card. What did he get? Spike Trap. Okay. Well, that's good to know. We have to play around Spike Trap too. Get all the way down to 2. If we Flash Fire here, we gain life. Can we turn off Recycle if we take the damage? Yeah, we're going to take this damage. Actually, no, because it'll go into the graveyard itself. Yeah, we're not going to see this damage. Actually, going to 5 means the demons would kill us. Yeah, we're going to take this. We may have to stand alone. This game is just not good for us. Pack Alpha. Okay, we did get the Pack Alpha draw. Let's send in the Strafer. Start there. We're definitely not going to be staying back with Strafing Dragon. Let's see if he takes it or if he plays something. We saw Transform. I highly doubt he plays Transform, and Spike Trap won't do anything, so I doubt he plays that either. Transform might happen. It depends how safe he wants to play. If he plays Transform, we probably just go Lord of the Arena and jam. And then he's dead to Flash Fire. Okay. So let's think. We have 10 damage. We have to figure out a way to deal 2 to our opponent. We know he has Transform, so Lord of the Arena fails. Pack Alpha makes 2 blockers with Corpse Taker makes 3 blockers. If we play Pack Alpha in attack, he just transforms it. There's no way he would take damage. We would have 2 blockers then, and we would die. I think we're going. Okay. So I think our best case scenario is to play Pack Alpha, make 2 wolves. We do that. Then our opponent attacks us. We assume Steel Golem comes first. We could play Standalone. He'll keep... Oh, actually... Let's... This is tough. Tough. We definitely can't Standalone now. We need to get an extra blocker on the board. We need to get value from waiting. Is there a world where we start with... I don't want him to draw 2 cards. I know Spike Trap is dead here against me. And if I play Lord of the Arena attack, he plays Transform. That puts him on the unknown card in his hand. And then we can just keep strafing. We can block with Corpse Taker. And then before damage is dealt, play Standalone. And he'll lose. He'll either keep Steel... Oh, no, we still die. We can't do that then. We still... If we keep something else, we go to 1 if he keeps something else. That just turns Flash Fire off. But Strafing Dragon, and that is lethal. This is tough. I think we're going to go... This locks him out of the most plays. If I play Pack Alpha, make 2 Wolves, he's not... Transform does nothing, he draws 2 cards. Yeah, we're gonna play Pack Alpha. This is tough. I think there's a world where going aggressive with Lord of the Arena might have been right. But if I was him, I would just draw 2 cards off of Transform right now. I can't think anything else is correct. Oh, we missed a point of damage on Strafing Dragon. Is that right? Yeah, we wouldn't have played it before combat. So, draw 2 with Transform. Yeah, that's what I expected. That means our Lord of the Arena is better. That means he lost his answer to Lord of the Arena. So, we'll see what he has for his next turn, but we should be okay. Rain of Fire. I guess we're not okay anymore. Oh well. Alrighty, he got us. It's a good draw. It's a good draw. I liked our deck too. I have to watch me lose again. That's awesome. Kinger, if you hop back in, good game. It's pretty brutal. I really liked some of your lines in that game. I was really unfortunate to have no answers for your Steel Golem. If you're back in, I have so many cards in the deck that were really good against Steel Golem. Like you saw the pack alpha later, but I had a bunch of other things. I had the Lying in Wait too. So there's a bunch of little things. Yes, this is me dying to actual Wolf's Call, which is amazingly hysterical. Alright, we're in a dark draft here. We're just picking a bunch of good cards. Can we support T-Rex? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we could take T-Rex. And then the next best card is Winter Fairy. And then, huzzah! We need Memory Spirit. Steel Golems we can't support. Yeah, we maybe could have supported Steel Golem. But Memory Spirit's not bad. We have a bunch of spells to play. We have Fireball, Spike Trap, Flame Strike, Lightning Storm. Good game, Kinger. Welcome back. Yeah, there was a lot of interesting things that happened in that game. I was really unfortunate not to draw any of my creatures that I wanted in that matchup. I don't know if you noticed, but I drafted all the Airborne champions. I didn't see... I was like, you must have first picked the Memory Spirit, but I took so many Airborne champions in that draft, and I just couldn't get paid off. I didn't draw any of them in the game. And so this whole strategy that I designed as we were playing in the draft, just nothing happened. Like, I only had like 6 or 7 wild cards, and I drew all of them early. Like I had T-Rex, or I had Strafing Dragon with loyalty twice, which I never thought would happen. Like in the game, I actually said like I only had 2 cards in the deck with loyalty, Ice Drake and Strafing Dragon, and I didn't think I'd ever make it. Yeah, I had that too. I did have Faithful Pegasus and Lord of the Arena combo, but you had showed me Transform, so I knew I couldn't go that way in the last turn. Um, the only way I could have won, well, there was no like once you draw Rain of Fire, there's no way I could win. Was Rain of Fire out of the Transform, or was Rain of Fire for turn? Because I had a line that would have forced you to cast Transform. So if I just you hid Inheritance of the Meek, yeah. Okay. I think I was fine. Oh, it's for turn. Oh, it's so brutal. So if I play Lord of the Arena, then um you have to transform it or you actually die. And then once you transform it on your turn, you attack me with I don't know what you would attack with first. I assume it would be Steel Golem, but I don't know that for sure. If it is, I block with Corpse Taker, and then I cast Standalone. The block has already happened, and you don't have Breakthrough. And then you play Inheritance there. That's even better for me. Oh wow! I mean, if you play Inheritance, I just win the game. That's fine. You would have had 2 demons. I would have been at 5. I would have won the game easily. My hand was nuts. I I had a bunch of ambush stuff, but not enough to come back. Um, I don't remember it offhand, but basically, I couldn't block 2 things in the same turn. But if you were to lose your army, like Steel Golem was the problem. Basically, is the short of it. Again, in the same line, you just have 2 demons, and then I can come back. I think I would have thought you would have transformed. Transform's actually cleaner, I think, for you. Inheritance, like you can keep the card off me. You're better off casting Inheritance on your turn after you attack with Steel Golem, because your demons still stay, and I don't draw the card. But either way, whether it was transform or not, if you don't draw 2 cards, I think I win that game. But such is life. All right, it looks like Envy's not here right now for the last pick, so we'll move on to the next game. See what's waiting for me. All right, we got a Gold Dragon going. My opponent passed to me, so we're just gonna send in the Gold Dragon. We have Lightning Storm in the graveyard. We've got a bunch of strong cards in our hand. We do have Flame Strike, so if he takes this, we win. I'm trying to remember what the game my hand was in our game. I know I had Lord of the Arena. I had Flame Strike and Flash Fire. I had Standalone, and there was one other card. But yeah, actually, now that I think about it, maybe you're right. Maybe Inheritance would have killed me. Because I would have been forced to Flame Strike your demon to stay alive, and that's pretty bad. And then from there, I don't know what I do. I probably Lord on my turn, but I don't know. I still think you would have been better off transforming immediately, attacking with Steel Golem, and figuring it out from there. But Inheritance might have been equally as lethal. Looks like Wasabi's not here either. If anybody wants to send me a challenge, I'd love to play. Let's do Constructed this time for any of the streamers. While I'm waiting, I guess I can show everyone one of my fun decks that I've been playing a lot lately. So I've been playing this deck a lot lately. It's very defensive, much more than a lot of other decks. 3 Angel of Light, 3 Angel of Mercy, gain 5 health, gain 5 health. With this deck, you'll see I'm playing a lot of good, so it's almost always going to be gain 10 health. Airborne Ambush. Angel of Light's one of the best cards to play if you can support all the loyalty. In my card deck that I won with, Angel of Light's a key component. I'm all the way up at 3 Angel of Mercy. If I was playing in a more modern day build, I'd probably be closer to 2, maybe even 1. But in Corset, there's just not enough strong cards. Brave Squire is probably the best 0 in good. Faithful Pegasus is right up there, and I am playing a lot of humans to jump with it, so it's great. Um, Gold Dragon, Righteous card solid. Inner Peace. I only play 2 because it has recall, and you can play it pretty reliably. Lord of the Arena, there's that human I was talking about, jumps up. Again, I'll pretty much always be able to tribute, or rather get the ally trigger. Same with Noble Unicorn. This is the deck I played against Martin, if you watched earlier. Palace Guard's removal. It's also a human, so it can fly. Gargoyle is one of my favorite 0s. Airborne Ambush, recycle, card does everything. White Dragon's one of the meatiest 0s in the game. It's very conditional, get the recycle on it, but again, with so many ones, I can do it fairly reliably. And then Avenging Angel, just another angel, airborne, lifelink, and the ability is pretty solid. There's only one in the deck. It's possible that I could play more, but I'm not a huge fan. White Knight's pretty great right now in the meta. There's a lot of evil decks, evil cards going around, so like this ability actually matters. I kept destroying Martin's Necromancer Lords and Medusas with it, so not even getting into combat, just automatically winning. The board was really solid, and it replaces itself. Surprise attack to help with all of those 0 creatures, a flash fire, a bunch of rages to get the damage in. Same with rage. I played flash fire to have a way to answer Muse. It's possible that I should have more. I don't know. It's just really hard to find space. The flame strike to kill your opponent when they get low enough. And then we're playing Muse because I love it. We're playing 1 copy of Amnesia to have some level of graveyard control. Plucker and Erase. But the deck has been really good for me. Like 4-1 with it since I've been playing with it on the app. Hopefully we have a challenge. Nope, but we have our last pick here with Envy Smoke. I don't think we can support the loyalty on that, so we're not picking this. We're just going to grab Transform and Ice Drake and call it a day. Word of Summoning might have been right. Looks like Envy Smoke goes first. Let's see what we got. A bunch of burn again. This hand looks eerily familiar to the last one we had. But again, it's pretty solid, so I don't think we can mulligan it. I think we start out with Strafing Dragon and go from there. Corpse Taker's going to rebuy whatever he kills, and Divine Judgment will probably draw 2 cards on our turn. Unless we draw another wild card, that'd be ideal. T-Rex would be the ideal draw. But if anybody in stream wants to send me a challenge for Constructed, that's more than fine with me. I'd like to play more Constructed. Maybe I could just start up a challenge for Constructed. And we'll pick deck 4. So while I wait for someone to make a move, we'll queue up for Constructed. There we go, Noah the Destroyer. Let's see what Noah's doing today. Alright, Noah goes first. We have a Thought Plucker. We're really happy. Alright, we have a lot of off-turn plays. We don't have a lot of on-turn plays, so we're going to want to send these cards away. Faithful Pegasus is too early. And we don't know if we're going to need Rage just yet, so let's start there and see what we pick up. Alright, so we have an on-turn play, we have removal, we have Amnesia. We have to remember this is our only Amnesia, as I said before, so it's important to kind of measure it. If you watched when I played with Tom 2 nights ago, I was very aggressively amnesiaing because I had 3 and I had all of them in my hand. But in this case, we only have 1, so we want to time it right. Make sure we get at least 1 graveyard controlling card, so it could be something like, I don't know, Psionic Assault, Inner Peace, Plentiful Dead, Lightning Storm, Lash, Noble Unicorn. Okay. So Noble Unicorn's solid. It establishes for him. We're probably going to answer that with Kong. Priest of Kalnor is going to save his Noble Unicorn, but we're not going to attack it anyway. It's just, oh wow, it doesn't have loyalty. That's interesting. It's a very interesting decision to play that creature without loyalty, but we're just going to snap off a Thought Plucker. There's a reason why this is my favorite card. Oh, and a surprise attack to go with the Kong. It's a happy day, boys and girls. It's a happy day. We'll see what we draw on our turn. We may not even play Kong to kill Unicorn. We're probably gonna have to because if he doesn't answer Thought Plucker immediately on his turn, we have to consider that we want to play the hand attack game, and Kong will take out his Noble Unicorn, and that way he won't get value from his good champions. I'm very surprised that he didn't show loyalty for this and that he played it. All right, so there's a Brave Squire. All right, so we'll go to our turn. See if we draw a nice card. Brave Squire down's good to know as well. Courageous Soul, that card does next to nothing. That's great. So we're definitely going to Kong. Now, he's so far down on cards that we just Kong Noble Unicorn, and now, even if he has, like, Inheritance or something like that, we're still going to draw a card and be way ahead. And if he doesn't, he just gets plucked. And Amnesia here is just too early. But this is why the team is Pluck You, everybody. This card just totally takes over the game. You know, if Noah doesn't have like one of like 3 answers, or like one, what was it, like, what could he have? You know, I guess it's close to like 6 or 7 answers, but there's still, he has to have it right now out of 2 cards, and if he doesn't, he's down to 1, and he knows it's going to be like a recurring theme of him losing all of his cards. Let's see what Envy Smoke does for us. Final task has happened. Taking my blue dragon. So we're gonna get the ultimate blowout here. We're gonna erase the blue dragon, and so it comes back to our hand. It's such a sweet interaction. I love doing it, and plus now we have rage for later. This is just amazing turn of events for us. So we basically turned a race into a draw 3. Wasabi's definitely not happy about that situation. This is with Envy Smoke. They are on the play. They are mulliganing 2 cards. Opening up with a blue dragon. Our strafing dragon is amazing. Actually, our hunting raptors is actually going to be the play here. We'll show our 2 wild cards. Flame Strike, strafing dragon, hunting raptors, deal 4 damage to blue dragon. So we have taken over the board, and we have taken over hand control. So we're pretty happy. Let's see if our constructed game is ready. Alright, here we go. Noble Unicorn, he gets 1 card. So we're going to pluck. Here it comes. What do we get? I don't even care what we draw. I want to see what he discards. Did we not draw? Maybe it's sequence that they discard first. Is that how it's right on the card? Yeah, they discard first. That's all it is. I don't think it matters because nothing can happen in between. I guess in theory, they should resolve their effect. So if they were to discard something like Warrior Golem, they'd have to finish the recycle as well. All that kind of stuff. We'll see what happens here, though. Alright, Noah's thinking about life, so we're going to hop in this game with Wasabi. Word of Summoning has happened, so now there's a demon. I don't think we particularly care about it. Muse be gone. Okay, Unquenchable Thirst. Did he have 6? Impressive. Impressive. That's gonna make our army better later, because it does have Blitz. Okay, do we have Amnesia in this deck? Yeah, we do. Sweet. So we have Amnesia Army, which is a sweet interaction if you haven't done it before. This is the best way I know to fix it. There we go. Okay, this is the game there. Our Hunting Raptors has control. We drew an extra wild card, which is great, but we don't want to use our gold here, so we're just going to pass. We'll figure out what to do after Envy makes their play. Okay, Plucker happens. Discard is High King. Draw is White Knight. We're still going to hold this Amnesia. I'm not too worried. If we get a chance to interact, we're going to surprise attack in the Palace Guard. We definitely want to stop Noble Unicorn from drawing more cards. So if there's an attack phase, which I don't think there would be because we have Kong, but people make strange plays all the time. In this game, Noah is very incentivized to sweep right here. And so in a world where Noah wants to sweep, he might attack with Noble Unicorn. In that case, I still will surprise attack out Palace Guard. Like, so if he attacks with Noble Unicorn, my options are Lightning Storm, Palace Unicorn, or Palace Guard it. I don't want him to draw more cards, even if he has Divine Judgment. Yeah. I just don't want him to draw more. Actually, I think. So we have the future. I want to be able to White Knight with Blitz next turn, so I'm gonna actually Lightning Storm. Normally, I like being aggressive, but we have board. I don't want to commit more onto board, since we're proactively playing our gold. Yeah, we'll just kill this Noble Unicorn. Keep cards out of Noah's hand as best we can. We're definitely gonna block with Kong. I don't really care which one I block. I just the damage is negligible. I'm surprised that he attacked with Priest first. All right. The dragon is coming in. Do we have good interaction for the dragon? We can't. Let's go with lying in wait. We will banish this to the Shadow Realm. We're going to take 4 out of it, but that's okay. I want to play the big bad worm in a second. Banishment on my turn with my gold. So this is just a big mistake. We get a free... Oh, it was their turn. Okay, I'm sorry. They went to their turn and then played Banishment. That's what happened. That's fine. So we'll show Rage and Flame Strike. We'll get Envy in the face for 5 more. And remember now, they know we have Flame Strike, so they have to be very concerned about the power level of that. Yeah, they're basically at 11. They're not at 19. Okay, we just block for sure. It doesn't matter which one we get because we're going to kill the other with Palace Guard or White Knight. And I'll take the 2 damage from Courageous Soul. I don't think Noah was expecting me to kill his Noble Unicorn. Incoming Secret Legion. Yeah, that's possible. I mean, nothing in my hand really interacts with Secret Legion other than Lightning Storm. But even if it is Secret Legion, I don't even think we're dead. I can just pick up Lightning Storm and restabilize. Let's see if you're right, though, Martin. Nope, faint. Interesting. He could have fainted his Priest of Kalnor back to keep it alive. Chose not to. That's a pretty weird play. I just think Noah's not very up on the mechanics of Epic just yet. Nothing in our hand needs to be played early, so we're going to start with Thought Plucker and figure out life afterwards. Now you have me worried about Secret Legion, Martin. I guess we should probably try to get the one on Flashfire next. But yeah, I mean, this game right now is a clinic on why Thought Plucker is so oppressive to the metagaming core only. If you don't have an answer for it, you know, he's already down 4 cards, right? I drew 2, he lost 2. He's about to be down a 3rd card, assuming this hits, and I'm about to be up a 3rd. And so it's just very hard to actually close out when you fall so far behind. And I can't find a card in the game that pressures the gold harder than Thought Plucker in the early stages, or that's better in the late stages when hands are empty. In the mid game against certain decks, it's certainly weaker. Like if your opponent has cards like Plentiful Dead or Inner Peace, and they're keeping their hand size very high, then Thought Plucker is much, much worse. But in a lot of situations, Thought Plucker is amazing. There's the inheritance I was talking about earlier, which is fine. We're going to draw a card here, and then we're just going to, ooh, that surprise attack looks juicy. So we're just going to be able to go White Knight. We'll draw our card first, and then we'll show Palace Guard, White Knight. Big damage. All right. So again, we just had an off-turn punish, and then it did a lot of work for us. I expect Noah's not going to have too much either. Best cards in his deck that he could have is another High King. That would banish my White Knight. I would then surprise attack Palace Guard, get his High King, and then I'd be in good shape. He'd be down a card. He'd be at 2 cards. I'd still be at I'd be at 6 because surprise attack would replace itself and I would lose the Palace Guard. And I'm trying to get cards into my graveyard to set up a recycle. The Amnesia is starting to get pretty healthy. I really want to get Inner Peace out of him before I pull the trigger. But if I can't get Inner Peace out of him, Ceasefire. Was that a his turn ceasefire? I like it. I like it. That's very aggressive. So we're gonna ambush a Noble Unicorn then. There's no reason to play our Palace Guard into an empty board. Angel of Mercy is a great draw. We'll go to our turn. Muse is another great draw. We're just very far in the driver's seat. Getting ceasefire out of his hands swell. There's a world here where we play around another ceasefire by attacking with both. Even if he ambushes a blocker, we can surprise attack Palace Guard. But I really don't want to risk Noble Unicorn in a combat that I don't have to. I was playing against Martin earlier, and I had 2 Noble Unicorns and a zombie. He had, I think it was Kong, a demon, or sorry, Kong, a zombie, and 2 life. So if I attacked with everything, he would have died. But I valued, like, if he has any trick, like if he had a Brave Squire or anything of that nature, then I would fall far, far behind. Let's see what he erases. We have 2 strong creatures. Okay, that's great. So now that his gold's down, we just send in the Unicorn. We have Rage to protect it from any combat. I can't even think of an ambush champion that we have to worry about. But yeah, so that's alrighty. So that's done with. We just replay this White Knight and we show him the same 2 cards, and we'll draw a bunch of new cards. Okay. We don't have Fireball, so there's no reason to Brave Squire. Getting him for 14 is negligibly different. And we don't need more cards. And our opponent's cards are largely irrelevant. Can we actually kill? Hold on. 9. That gets me to 14. That gets me to 18. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just try lethal here. The only card you could have, I think, is Hasty Retreat. And now that we have targets, we'll Amnesia him just in case. He's going to try to dig for that Hasty Retreat. And we leave Lightning Storm because it has recall. And we get paid off with a 0. Nope. Yay. But yeah, so now his deck's 5-1. Wither lets him live. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if that's the world he's in where he withers to stay alive, I probably just win anyway. Let's get back to the game with Wasabi. I thought that one was interesting. Alright. Demon's coming in. We're drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah, we knew that already. Wasabi gets a big punish on us. We may have to APOC on our turn. We'll see what comes out. This is the game where, yeah, we're really far ahead against Envy. We send in a Strafe. We have to anticipate a trick here from Strafe, or from Envy Smoke. I'm tempted to let him kill Strafing Dragon if he has direct, like, if he makes a chump block or something. I'm tempted to let him kill it, because then I can Corpse Taker, pick it back up, probably kill whatever he blocks Strafing Dragon with the target, with the 5 damage, and attack him again. So I'm probably fine with that if that comes to be the line. I may even just go face. I have to do some counting. All right, Succubus happened. All right. Succubus is pretty good. Let's see what we draw. We drew Faithful Pegasus. All right. Yeah, I like Apocalypsing here. We just like the Airborne Champions are too much. We can't afford to give all that up. We're gonna eat the Ancient Chant and the Fireball with the Faithful Pegasus. Draw some cards. Great cards to draw. Rampaging Worm plays so well with Army the Apocalypse, and we already have the Gold Dragon in there. So that's really good for us. And if they kill Faithful Pegasus, that'll also be in there for us. So that's good. Wasabi's making moves. Alright, it looks like my Pegasus does the dirty deed, and then we're going to get punished. Wasabi took the turn pretty quickly, so until we get another... Oh, Thought Plucker, that card's good. Okay, so Blue Dragon's going to answer Thought Plucker later. Wolf's Call is the worst card in our hand. Ooh, we have a really sweet play, yeah. So we're going to discard Wolf's Call now. When he attacks next turn, we're going to discard Rampaging Worm, and then Army's going to be insane for us. Yeah, so we're going to get, actually, we're going to get Rampaging Worm into our discard pile early. We have to remember we have Flame Strike, which is great. He didn't reveal for Succubus. Did we see anything earlier in this game? Bitten. We saw Bitten and we saw Final Task already. Nothing in here else has loyalty, right? Yeah, that's all we would have seen. Okay. Thought Plucker is Sage. What do you mean Thought Plucker is Sage? Did I say it was good? Is that what you're teasing me about? Surprise attack. Thunderous. Oh boy. That card's brutal. Let's make that a wolf. Martin, are you making fun of me because I said it was a good card? Of course. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, you can see I ended up playing a lot of games. I finished a bunch off before I started the stream. I guess while I'm waiting, we can queue up for another constructed game. And until this deck starts losing more, I'm going to keep jamming it. Tom's going to love seeing that I'm playing this deck because it very much is right up his alley. What do we got? All right, we have really strong cards. We're on the draw. We're going to have his turn Noble Unicorn, his turn Muse. That seems great. Right now, it's playing that if you play something and they don't respond, then you don't get it back on your opponent's turn. I am 99% sure that's wrong. I have to talk to Tom about it. I do believe that if I play Muse and pass back to him, even if he doesn't have a play, I should get the turn back. My understanding is that the way the end step works, or the attempt to end step works, is that whenever I play something, and we go back to the beginning, not it's two straight players in a row. And right now it's playing as if two passes in a row makes you discard. So it's going to bait me into playing both Noble Unicorn and Muse. Okay. What did I just do?
Because I blew it.
Okay. Fix that. We're going to go to the next game because nothing's happening. And what was the answer to that talk, Martin? Am I correct that that is an incorrect functionality?
No, I will. Just put it. I'm just gonna. No, you're not. You're gonna wash it. It's been washed. So hang it up. Hang it up near my flannels. Hang it up near my flannels.
Yeah, these dark drafts are brutal. Wasabi got me. I owe him a good one. All right, here we go. Dark draft with wasabi. Yeah. So in this game, we're in a tough decision tree. We have to decide whether we want to discard Rampaging Worm and go for an earlier win. We're definitely going to want to Blue Dragon away the Thought Plucker. I think we're going to discard Burrowing Worm because the card's much less good on its own, less high quality for Martin, and we don't have Surprise Attack in this deck. So that's the play I want to make. We're falling really far behind in cards, but there's just nothing we can do about it. This is again as I said in the last one, Thought Plucker is really good. This is also is why Thought Plucker is really good. I was so far ahead as far as cards went in this game, and Thought Plucker has put him in the driver's seat. Like I said, luckily I know for a fact that Blue Dragon will come down, kill Thought Plucker, and then I'll be safe again. They know that we have Rage and Flame Strike. Murderous Necromancer, that's pretty brutal for us. Blue Dragon doesn't solve that. Medusa, that's really scary. Inner Demon, less scary. Medusa means we can't play the Rampaging Worm trick, and our army's way worse. Like this whole game is just quickly falling out of hand. Like these, did I just miss my gold on his turn too? Like I'm not even paying attention. I totally should have drawn 2 with army, or rage. I'm so busy talking to people. Necromancer's gonna crack our dragon, which is gonna suck for us. And we'll figure it out from there. I think I missed my gold on their turn. I think it should have been rage to draw 2 cards. Okay, so the rules are written that way. Okay, I'm not crazy. I definitely think it should be the way that I'm saying. Like, I think it's very important to play the game that way. And like whoever's turn it is, you should get backed up to the beginning of the step, and then play it out. Because there's a lot of value to doing that. Like in that other game, I could protect my muse by playing Noble Unicorn first. And like, what if my opponent deemed that a sweeper was correct, then I would be able to play muse. Well, if they didn't want to sweep, they could pass back to me. Um, Things like that. Like it's very interesting that the lines of play that mechanic or that structure of rules creates, and it's important that we play by them. Oh wow, that's not good for me. He drew 2 cards. Wow, it's very interesting. If he had done 5 to me, 4 to the Blue Dragon, and 3 to the Necromancer. Like he would have had total control of the game. I guess the thought process was he wanted a zombie token. I don't really know. Um, there is a world where they just pass right here because they're so far ahead. And now they're attacking. We're gonna take the 6 and then probably drain Essence the Necromancer. We saw Medusa and Inner Demon, and so we kind of can't play Rampaging Worm until Medusa's gone or their gold is down. We're not gonna get their gold down without making a play, but none of the cards in our hand are worth. We can't play anything on their turn besides Drain Essence. We could draw 2, or we could draw 2. But I really want to find my Amnesia. I only have 14 cards left. I've definitely done some recycling this game. Because I know I recycled Ancient Chant. Right, my Pegasus did a recycle, so there's only 12 cards in between me and my Amnesia. And the world where I cast Amnesia in Army is a great world. I think Nizix got scared, right? Did we just mulligan and that was it? Nothing's happened? That's a pretty weak cue. You can see I play with Tom a lot. We started a beginner move for a stream and we never finished at a beginner game. But Tom is one of the better players that I know. I learn a lot from every game I play with him. So I try to have something queued up with him whenever I can. You know, we have a dark draft and a random 30 going right now. If you know, he's definitely someone I would consider challenging if you want to learn from your opponent. Here's a game that's pretty interesting. Here it is. So I played Warrior Golem. He had Rain 5/4/3. Took out my Warrior Golem. So I got to recycle. I drew, and then I took out his Palace guard with Kong, I think, in this game. Or is he thinking? Oh, he still has priority with Rain of Fire after the Rain of Fire. I'm almost assuredly going to be Konging out his Palace guard, punishing him for using his gold early, and establishing my board. But yeah, it's a bunch of tight play me and Tom have. He definitely punishes me a lot. Alright, so here comes in the last zombie. We're still not blocking. Ideal scenario is Wasabi plays their gold effect. If not, we just drain Essence the Necromancer so we can go forward on our turn. They have 8 cards in their hand though, so we have to expect that the Medusa has loyalty at this juncture. And a Medusa with loyalty means Rage is irrelevant, and Rampaging Worm and Kong are way weaker. So there's Brave Squire. Okay. You got me with Brave Squire. I think that means that I have to play around a burn spell. Let's see who's in the discard. Rain of Fire is gone, but Forked Lightning would kill me. So we're just going to have to gain some life right away. So, do we have Forked Lightning? Did we just play around? Yeah, oh no. We do have Forked Lightning, so we just played around a card that's in our deck. That's part of the cost of doing things online like this. Frost Giant is not good for us. We have to just take that. It also means that we have a good target for the Kong, but dropping to 6 is pretty brutal. And this is what we were talking about before about punishes. Big Blitz champions are really good to punish someone for using their gold early. But we just don't have a better line here. We're sort of just behind a lot of 8 balls. So we know they have Medusa, so we just want to keep Kong alive. We're going to lose our Palace Guard here to Medusa, and then we lose the game. There was nothing that we could really do differently based on how it played out. They just had all the cards. I could have played Army. We would have made, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. We would have made 5 champions to 3 champions, but their champions are just better. Like, so if we pass back with Necromancer and Succubus up, right, the Succubus kills our Gold Dragon, the Necromancer kills our Burrowing Worm, and what do? Like, we have nothing. We're still just dead. Our only hope is that, like, our opponent doesn't make a play and misclicks or something. I think we're just dead to rights in that game. I don't want to do a challenge. Let's do a new game. Maybe we can get someone to actually play with us. We'll grab this deck again. So yeah, we'll see what rules changes might happen that we find out from the app that they were intending to do differently or maybe trying out differently. We've already seen that the way the turns are decided is different. Like you mulligan first if you're on the draw, which I think is good. The one thing about the app that's sort of irritating right now is that if you don't have a play, it automatically skips it for you, which in one sense is good. Like, I like that it's streamlined and it goes faster, but at the same time, I'm a little frustrated that you can't bluff things as well. Like in paper Epic, pretending you have a 0 is such a huge important part of the game. Yeah, we're just gonna be conceding this game as soon as we have priority. Inner Demon, Plentiful Dead, Medusa kills Palace Guard, and we're dead. Yeah, there was no sequence of plays that was gonna let us win this game. So, like even if we attack with Noah's back. All right, we'll teach Noah some more about Epic. Pyromancer's in, drops us by 4, and the gold is down. Ooh, that's a big turn for us. I want to draw 2 cards here. We definitely want to keep Rage. Those are good cards. Mighty Blow's probably going to win the game with the Rage. This means they have to have a bounce spell to be in the game. Let's go back. It said there was a game started with Noah. Hey. What the? Oh, they're on the play? That's fine. Alrighty. We're going to mulligan a lot of these cards. While Envy thinks we're going to do our mulligan, let's see how many cards Noah sent down. We are on the play. We don't want Lash so early. We don't want White Dragon so early. I think we only have the 1 Lightning Storm. 2. Alright, yeah, we'll send Lightning Storm away. We'll keep the Surprise Attack combo and the Palace Guard Punish. And... Alright, I think we just pass here. We could just play Lord of the Arena and jam, but we're probably going to get Noah to use their gold and then punish them. We played them earlier and they made a lot of mistakes. So, good night, Andy. The more mistakes we can get out of our opponent for free, the better. Nizix is not paying attention, and Envy is dead as soon as they make a play, right? We get to Mighty Blow the Strafing Dragon and attack, try to get an attack or a blocker from them, rage, and get the kill. Alright, I'll be right back. 1 second.
Mine was miserable.
Alrighty. So, we're still waiting from a play from somebody else. Alright, let's hop into the campaign, see what we can find in here. Go over here, Icy Assault. We know Icy Assault is the Ice Drake and Juggernaut game. We don't really have anything on our hand that's... Well, Fireball's good for later. Fire Shaman would be good if we had 0s. Standard Bearer makes Lord of the Arena a good blocker, but I don't think that's a good way to win the game. So we'll throw that away. And we'll go from there. See if we can make this work. Force Major Apprentice, also good for killing Juggernauts. It's our opponent's turn. They are passing to us without doing anything. We just take that. That's a party time. Lord of the Arena and send them in. I think that that's going to be an Ice Drake. Yeah, and then I think they always block. Well, they have to block the Lord of the Arena, but I think blocking is still what they just do naturally. There's nothing else to be done right now. We're pretty fine. They either have Steel Golem or they have Juggernauts. In either case, they don't have removal, so we'll play Force Major Apprentice up. And if it's Juggernaut, yeah. Okay, so we can't do anything good about Juggernaut, but we can shoot for 2. It's got breakthrough, so we just can't block. It's just not realistic. And I don't want to use Angelic Protector without turning on Lord of the Arena. Alright. If we attack with Lord of the Arena blind, our Angelic Protector won't do anything good. So we attack with Lord of the Arena, we know it's going to be Ice Drake with Loyalty. Ice Drake with Loyalty means that our Lord of the Arena would not kill the Ice Drake, but we could upgrade Fireball and get the Ice Drake and the Juggernaut that way. That's probably our best line right now. And then next turn we can play Angelic Protector, block the other Juggernaut, and it would survive because it becomes unbreakable. Yeah. So we see Ice Drake and Juggernaut, or double Ice Drake, either way. Yeah, we have to make blocking happen. They have to block no matter what anyway, but we'll just upgrade the Fireball. Get in for 3. Maybe we'll be able to chip them away with this Force Mage Apprentice. This Spike Trap's going to be useless. We're going to have to recycle it eventually, but we need to get cards in our graveyard first. Ooh, we could Final Task their cards at some point. That'd be sweet. Final Task with Juggernaut's an amazing interaction. Basically, because it becomes unbreakable on your turn, it stays in play the whole time, and that's actually a great way to win the game. So we'll probably do that on our next turn. So we're gonna attack as a group with Lord and Angel because we know it's going to be an Ice Drake response. So this way it dies. Mighty Blow is good, but we're not going to be able to get that value. Chip away with our Force Mage Apprentice. Send in these creatures because we know that they would get expended by Ice Drake, and this way they actually kill the Ice Drake. And then we Final Task on Juggernaut. We won't draw a card, but we will get in for 9. And then Juggernaut's Breakthrough along with Mighty Blow making it get 10 more attacks should win the game. Oh, I did this too early, but that's okay. It has to block because of Lord of the Arena, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But I just assumed it had happened already. And then there goes the Drake. Send in the Jugs. Do Battle Pass, which I like. And then we end the turn. Oh, and here's me not paying attention. I'm dead on board to double Juggernaut. Let's start by trying to draw out of this. And get rewarded. Yeah, this will be enough to win the game. So yeah, we have to pass again. Oh, Faithful Pegasus doesn't have Ambush. It's got Blitz. I thought it had Ambush too. Nope, we lose. Not get rewarded, get punished. There's nothing I could have done actually based on my hand. I could have Spike Trapped on my turn. That's the only thing I could have done. That was a mistake, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I think we got some games finished while we were in there. Yeah, Envy Smoke made a play. Okay, so I definitely like Mighty Blow, 10 damage to Strafing Dragon, and request something sweet. We also have the backup plan of Rain of Fire into Flame Strike for lethal. Our opponent knows that we have Rage as well, so that's pretty good. It seems to be dying down online, so probably in like the next 10 minutes, I'm probably going to shut down the stream for tonight. Maybe try to get on a bit earlier. But to recap for those who maybe joined a little bit later, great news is Rob Dougherty is going to be on the stream with me probably sometime next week, and we'll be sure to publicize exactly that. We'll likely do a dark draft or two. Rob is known for his constructed Magic prowess, but he's no slouch in Limited either. Obviously, designing the game means he's got a pretty good advantage anyway. So we'll see how that goes. If anyone's on stream and wants to play a game off stream, that's fine too. Feel free to challenge me. The great thing I like about the game is that it's asynchronous, and so like I have so many matches on hold, and I plan to get more. In fact, I meant to while I'm sitting here talking about it. Let's challenge Jonah. He's on Pluck You, and so we will challenge him to a dark draft. And then let's challenge Trunks. Challenge him to a dark draft. And who else has the app? Let's challenge Kyle. I haven't played Epic with Kyle in a while. Does he have an... Oh, it's PKT Tempo. Or rather, it's PK Tempo. Not what I wrote. No, is it PT Kempo? Ah. I can't... I have to go find out what Kyle's username is. Maybe he has a number on it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the stream with Rob too. When he contacted me about doing it, I got really excited. But yeah, I guess I can go look on the Facebook app, or rather in the Facebook page, in the Epic app. There's a list of all the usernames. So Kyle wrote his. I think it's the first one. So I just gotta find it. Oh, second. PT Key. Oh, okay. I see what I did. There's two T's. It's not PTK. It's not PT Kempo. It's PTK Tempo. All right. PTK Tempo. Challenge him to a dark draft. There we go. But yeah, it's looking like the online play. A lot of people aren't responding anymore. That's fine. But yeah, you can see I've got a bunch of games waiting. Nothing's my move. There we go. Envy Smoke has a game for me. Let's go. Medusa, that doesn't work the way you think it does. You should read your cards. My champion is unbreakable. I imagine Guilt Demon's going to come down afterwards. Yeah. They know that we have the Rage, though. So I don't really know what the play is. We get in for 18, which is more than lethal. There was no reason to play Medusa there. That's just in like it's the idea of getting the loyalty trigger is nice, but without a target, it's irrelevant. So I would have just played Guilt Demon. It may have even been better for our opponent to just use the Pyromancer to deal 4 damage. But that's also why we use Mighty Blow in combat or before combat, so that we didn't give them the chance to play Medusa. Envy Smoke knows that we have Rage. Oh yeah, they've been awesome. White Wizards really done a great job of being player focused and doing their best that they can to promote their brand with the time that they have. The only thing that irritated me a little bit was last year when they did the special invites to Magic Pros, and I kind of talked about that a little bit in the community. I probably said more than I should have, and I apologize to them for that. But other than that, they've done just having the tournaments is so good for us. Like, $100,000 tournament paying out to last place, that's amazing. And that's really sweet. All right, here we go. Divine Judgment to draw 2. See, I told you we get paid off. Send in the Lord of the Arena. I hope you enjoy those 2 cards for 17 damage. But yeah, again, that's just one of those things where you have to teach people how to play. Wasabi sent me a challenge. I'll probably get back to them. Wasabi's really good, so I need to really be on my game to play with them. We're like 50-50 in our dark drafts. Maybe they're actually up. I don't know. Wasabi's really good. You can see here I was doing a lot better in the beginning of the app. But yeah, I need to be careful. Who's a little bit? Oh yeah, I only talked a little bit about it. Yeah. All right, I was pretty salty. I won't pretend otherwise, Martin. Um, the main reason, and I said this to them, and I said this on the app as well, was that my bigger problem with the situation wasn't that they added the people. It was that they didn't tell us that they were even considering it. And so a lot of people, myself included, went out and were recruiting for people to come to tournaments and to start playing Epic. And a lot of my message was geared on how many spots we thought were available. And then we lost half of them in overnight, and it just felt it felt awkward. But I understood what happened. You know, they couldn't fill 30 slots, and so instead of cutting size prize support or doing anything like that, they got some exposure for their company and for their brand. And you know, I can empathize with what they did and why they did it, and so for that, I won't hold it against them. In this spot, we're in a really awkward position. I think we just need to draw 2 cards. Like, I guess we'll just play Kong and hit itself. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I mean, I understood their side too. And then again, what I said before about saying too much was that I didn't really think about their side when I was talking. I was just frustrated as a player and as someone who had been a recruiter. And I really should have taken a step back. As I said in my apology that I came out a couple of weeks later, my main concern was that it made me feel like a liar when I told a lot of people information that was later untrue when the situation changed. But you know, again, it was a different situation, and I don't hold it against them. There's no ill will. All right, I love the interaction between Noble Unicorn and Inner Peace. It's another one of my favorite things that occurs in my card deck. Just a great way to. You'll always have cards in your hand almost to trigger the recalls and the ally abilities. So we're sending in Kong just to see what happens. And, you know, we got in with that before. Erasing the Kong is fine. We have a lot of different lines here. I like just inner piecing. We have no reason to press tempo. We have longevity. We know that their play is going to be. Actually, we know Thunderous is coming, and we don't have a good answer to Thunderous, so we need to draw cards. So we're gonna start with Noble Unicorn. And now we have a great answer for Thunderous. So we'll see if our opponent plays Thunderous again. But the deeper we can get through our deck, the better. We'd love to find like Brave Squire. That'd be a great hit for us. That would make our Kong kill Thunderous. As of now, we can do something where like we Watchful Gargoyle in, and then they block, and then we hit them with Kong. The problem is that they erased our Kong, so they know that we have it. So they're gonna play around it. All right, Avenging Angel. That means we get to surprise attack. The card that we want. So they don't know about Palace Guard, so we're definitely gonna use Kong. Alright, and would you Rage? That's such a good card to draw for us. Let's see what we can get out of our opponent. Thunderous would die to Kong now. That's great. Flame Strike will eventually be lethal. Like they don't know how to play around it. We'll get them from 8. This is also what I was saying in some of the earlier streams, if you were paying attention. The 1 Flame Strike is great because it's the way to finish your opponent, and it's a card that changes the way they have to play around you. but it's so awful to actually use Flame Strike for anything else that you don't want multiple copies of it. And I think in this deck I went up to a second copy, but even that I'm not super enthused about. No, only one Flash Fire, or rather only one Flame Strike. Right? Or does it pull the cards out of your deck if they're in your hand? No. So it's only one Flame Strike. Yeah, that's fine. I gotta tell Jay that the deck interface is a little awkward. Alright, so we're attacking right now. I imagine that this Angel's gonna chump block, and then we're gonna rage. If it doesn't chump block, we just Palace Guard it away. And we'll draw from Noble Unicorn. That'd be swell. I didn't see the other card that was revealed. Okay, so damage is happening. That's great for us. Palace Guard gets to happen. That eats the Angel, and we draw a card from Unicorn. We have our punish next turn in the form of Lord, so that's great. Tuck that Angel away, and now that we know his gold's down, Noble Unicorn's free to attack. Let's go find out what, let's keep it pushing. Let's go find out what they revealed to the loyalty. It was Angel of Mercy and Resurrection. Okay. So we have to play around those two cards, Angel of Mercy and Resurrection. Angel of Mercy means the cards in his graveyard will come back, which right now is only Avenging Angel. And Resurrection is whatever card dies this turn can come back. So we have to be very mindful of those effects. It's important in Epic to play with all the information you could have. Alright, so Gold Dragon is a pretty weak play for him right now. We're just going to snap off this erase. There's really no reason not to. Yeah, and we just won the game. Like, our opponent has to have exactly... Actually, no, our opponent's just dead. So between Brave Squire and double Brave Squire, double Rage, and Lord of the Arena, our opponent's dead. There's actual nothing that I can think of right now. Like, aside from chaining off, like, Hasty Retreats or something. Like, this deck is really good. It's very aggressive. And, like, you can see my life total hasn't been threatened. If it was, I still had Inner Peace to bail me out. This deck is very focused on getting ahead and staying ahead. If you ever read Tom's article about that, and I know, like, every time you watch the stream, I plug it at least once. It's the most thorough, descriptive article on how to approach playing a game of Epic. I'm much more okay. So we get Lying in Wait. His gold's down. We're gonna attack with Palace Guard to see if there's a trick. And I think if we Brave Squire onto Palace Guard, that's 11. And then we'll see if he makes a blocker, and if he makes a blocker, we can Rage. Okay. Then we can Noble Unicorn. We're going to attack with that. We're going to Brave Squire the Noble Unicorn. And, oh, he's just dead to Flame Strike. Yay, we win. That was a very strong showing for the deck. I don't think Noah is the best player yet, so I wouldn't use that as a barometer for how amazing this deck is. But as you can see, it does a lot of really strong things. Just to go back over the list before I shut down tonight. This will be the last thing I do, though. You know, Angel of Light, Angel of Mercy, those cards are solid. Brave Squire and Rage are the combat tricks, and Lash. Those are to push through the damage. Triceratops is a card that I'm not 100% sold on right now. We're playing the 2 Trikes because we have the surprise attacks and we need to keep our hands full. If you were to cut them, it's probably the Rage or the Flash. Like, the Flash Fire is a nod to accepting the Thought Pluckers around. We obviously have Thought Pluckers and Muses as well. I kind of want the 3rd Muse, but I don't have the space for it. So, like, I guess I could cut, like, a Rage, the 2 Trikes, play the 3rd Muse, and then find 2 Sage cards to play in this deck that cost 1. Blue Dragon's too slow. Crystal Golem, maybe. We're really a lot more aggressive than that, where I already have the erases. We can't support a lot of stuff. Memory Spirit's probably the card I would play. 2 copies of Memory Spirit. Maybe Sea Titan. Memory Spirit's more likely, based on the way the deck plays. But yeah, it's all up to you. Looks like Martin's getting some stuff together, so I'll wait for him to get on. I'll be hosting him here on this channel, but feel free to go over to his. I intend on applying for partnership with Twitch, but we just need to get some better viewer numbers. Obviously, these late night streams aren't going as well, so I'm going to come back down. I'm going to drop to, let's say, 7 p.m. and just try to be more regular about, actually probably 8 p.m. My son goes to bed between 7:30 and 8, so I'm going to aim for 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. more regularly, and hopefully that will work out with getting bigger viewers. If I get partnership, expect a whole bunch of custom stuff on the page, bonuses for subs. I'll do probably like monthly sub giveaways, things like that, sub challenges where we can do like in-app tournaments for my subs, and then the winner will get prizes and stuff. Maybe I'll feature them on the stream. They can come on with me and do a draft like I'm going to do with Rob. Like I said, I have a bunch of these promos here that I've been saving and saving and saving. So I'd love to give them out to people. Smack, just a reminder, send me your information on Facebook and I'll send you this filled in. That's for you. And then Andy, you can pick whatever you want next time I see you. Like I said, I have a pretty healthy collection and I plan on increasing it. Martin, if you're still watching, if you can get me 2 Blue Dragons and 3 Secret Legions, that would be the best, and I'll take as many inner pieces as you could. It's going to depend on the game going public. Like, there are plenty of people who are just interested in learning about the game. I wish I had my Magic following up back to like when I used to play more and I used to write. I had a much bigger following, so people would have cross-pollination. But right now, I just don't have that. So I'm just waiting